Hi, my name is Melanie, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own stamp for printing. So you can print on paper or you can print on fabric with the stamp. The materials that we're going to use are tracing paper, this linoleum based material called Easy Cut. It's called other things too, but it's very vinily, very easy to carve with these linoleum cutters. The linoleum cutter, pencil, and then I have some wood pieces here as a form of inspiration for a shape. So if you already have a shape in mind, then go ahead and just draw it out onto your little Easy Cut, or if you need help, that's what these shapes are for. So first I mark my area so that I don't go out of lines. So I know what size the area is. And then I'm just going to take these shapes and kind of draw lines. Draw this design. Doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very, very easy. Okay, so I have these lines, and now I'm going to decide what part I'm going to cut out. So I'm just going to write, cut this out, and then I'm going to cut this out. Okay? So then I'm going to take my piece of tracing paper, and I'm going to color on the back. And this makes a low-tech carbon paper. This is how we're going to transfer these lines onto our Easy Cut. Okay. So then we're going to take our Easy Cut. We're going to put our space, and then we're going to draw the lines. Like this. And I kind of do it over and over a little bit because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it comes out really light. And there is my shape. So then I'm going to take my linoleum cutter, and these I bought at Dick Blick online. I believe it's dickblick.com. And they're relatively inexpensive, and they come with different blades. So you can get a really fine blade, you can get a V-cut or a scoop, and you have a small scoop or a big scoop, and a small V and a big V, and then you have an actual X-Acto cuts a straight line. So right now I'm going to use a small scoop, and they're interchangeable, assuming that you open it and you put it in there. It's so easy. put it in there, and you have it here. Do not put your hand in front of the blade, because if you miss it, you're going to go right into your hand. Little safety tip. So keep your hand behind, and you're going to cut out easy cut. And the reason why they call it easy cut is because it's easy to cut. This, the one that I have here, there's Easy Cut, which is the trademark name, and then this is the Dick Blick generic Easy Cut. You can find it underneath, you can find the linoleum cutters and this material underneath the printmaking supplies on their website. You can find other things that you can try, but the basic premise is the same. And so you're just going to cut this out pretty easily. What I like to do is do the lines first. You just move it back and forth. Like that. So I have the basic shape out, and then I'm just going to change it to the big scoop, so I can dig out bigger areas quicker. Like that. It's like scooping ice cream on a hot day. It's kind of nice if you're a sensory person. Very satisfying. Like this. And you want to make sure that you get below this area, because when you ink it up or if you put dye on it, these little areas can, if they're raised enough, can pick up the lines. If you want that aesthetic, that's a different story. If you don't want that aesthetic, you just want to make sure that it is below this line right here, because that can be a nice aesthetic too. It's all up to you. Okay. These come also in different sizes, so you can make the stamp as big or as small as you would like. They come in sheets, so you can buy a sheet and then cut them up depending on the size of your design. It's a pretty versatile tool. I still use some of my stamps that I made while I was in college in my regular work. So they last a while. They last as long as you're using the image. kind of like eraser material, that white plastic art eraser, if anyone has ever used those, which I'm sure everybody has. Those polymer erasers, that same material, and you're just carving it up. Some people I know have used the erasers, the actual erasers. I mean, if you're in dire straits, I would say sure, but I don't know. I'm always looking for a really good eraser, so I tend to keep my erasers. That's just me, though. However you'd like to do that. You just carve it out. I like to make sure to make this line a little more delineated. You don't want to go all the way through to the other side, because then you have a hole. So you just have to be careful of that. And there you have your stamp.